Apparently, I've gotten roped into doing a video entry. I said I would, and I have to be a man of my word. So here you go. This is actually an old poem, but I really love it. Um, it's titled "Oh How I Wonder," and given what today is, and today is a very significant day for me personally, because I met the ex 10 years ago today. Today was our anniversary. Yeah, it is what it is. And sometimes the inspiration comes from what resonates within the canopy of our hearts, in the brightness of day, in the tranquility of night. The truth is, we love for always, if always exists. Oh, how I wonder. Oh, how I wonder with the solace of night as my constant companion. How you remain in life, the center point between the comfort of a worn, fraying blanket and the prospect of a mountain enchanted, that I've so much admired and so long desired, from such great distance that my mind still yearns for the chance to explore, the chance to adore, when the arms of sleep are all too absent. Oh, how I wonder, when the moon hangs ever low, tantalizingly so, murmuring her cosmic echo, that I fail to understand, my senses not attuned, as no star for me shines within this empty cavern, sans your indelible smile. Intense memories once made, between late nights fighting, long days believing, that there exists this electricity between these cable cars that span the distance between my heart and yours, the beats ever quickened by our shared transmission, that no space of time nor span of distance could ever diminish. Oh, how I wonder, what shall come of the electricity? What shall come of you? What shall come of me? When the bell tolls long and sadly, for a life spent loving wholly, and of love never quite complete, when there exists no more grains of sand for tomorrow, and today is the last day for you in my heart, as it is the last day for me. I wrote that back in June 30th of 2011. Of course, copyright Brian Milici. So yeah, I like it. Someone that I actually really wow, I met her on Open Diary a long time ago. She just tagged me for a survey on Facebook. So, oh, before I get to that, let me go over all the different words that people used for me because this is interesting. I got some new ones. There's a lot of variety now. Uh, friend, and yes, she's one of the most important people in my world, so I totally get that. Droll, which is a fantastic word, because yes, you are right. It sounds offensive, but it's actually not. Um, Another word was devoted. I won't fight that ever. Uh, I was called a maven, though I'm not quite sure a maven of what exactly. Someone agreed on passionate. Let's see. I was told I am sexy. Wow, and believe what you want to. Uh, this one might be my favorite, which was impish. It's right there with droll. I mean, they sort of, but impish has a little bit more fun to it. Droll, or like a court jester. Although, I mean, I, they're both accurate in different times of my life. And of course, I was then called smooth, which, I would not argue against any of those words. So those were the results. What's the fascination with people leaving so many private notes? It's a curious thing to me. But let's move on to the survey, shall we? And I did this at the end because if you like to listen to me talk about poetry, you can. And if you don't, then you just skip ahead to the survey, or you could just listen to the poem and skip this instead. It's one of these A, B, C, D, all the way down to Z surveys. Age, I am 37 years young. Which, most people, if when I ever get carded, if I go to Walmart and you buy alcohol, do you guys, can you guys buy alcohol at Walmart? I, I remember we were in Mississippi for the 4th, and well, Memphis actually, 5 minutes from Memphis, but actually on the Mississippi side of the border. And we drove into Memphis to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the UFC fights, and we were like, well, the line there was terrible, so we decided to go back to Sam's younger brother Tyler and his wife's house, and we wanted to grab some alcohol beforehand. I was like, well, let's just go to the grocery store. And Sam just looked at me. She's like, oh, you're so from New Orleans. You can't buy liquor at the grocery store unless you live in New Orleans, you silly boy. I was like, oh, so we have to like go to a liquor store? She's like, or just a convenience store. So anyway, but yeah, whenever I get carded, people are like, you don't look 37. And I probably don't act it. I hope. Uh, Cue all of the old people jokes that I get quite frequently. Biggest fear. I mean, snakes are right there. I butchered the hell out of my front yard after I saw that snake in the grass twice. Oh, my yard is very well manicured right now. And that snake has no place to hide, so he left. Snakes and heights are pretty big. My mom was terrified when we were younger of we were going to move into an apartment where the second floor had no railing on it. So she got really nervous, and don't do this to your kids, but she held us over the edge to scare the hell out of us, and it worked. I don't really I have a very irrational fear of heights. The current time is 1:55 in the afternoon on a splendid day. It's overcast outside. The weather is tremendous. It's a good day. Drink that I last had, water. Easiest person to talk to. Can I say myself? Because I talk to myself all the time. It just depends on who it is and about what it is. Because I find that I'm more able to be emotionally available and vulnerable with certain people, but I'm not with others. Some people I have an incredible dynamic with where we just can sit there and make fun of each other forever. Um, I don't know. I'm not going to pick one. I'll say either myself or my dogs because they don't talk back. So I get all the airspace. Favorite song? Well, I don't ever want to pick one, but my current favorite song is Uptown Funk, obviously by Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars. I love that song. I grew up uptown in New Orleans, and it's got a funky beat to it. I'm also a big fan of El King's X's and O's right now. That's a really good one. If we're talking all-time favorite song, probably it's either "I'll Be" by Edwin McCain or "Porcelain" by Better Than Ezra. Well, I mean, God, there's a million Better Than Ezras. Um, Cowboy Mouse, "Run to Me" is really fantastic. Gosh, "Yellow Paper" by Royal Teeth. Yeah, I know a lot of these are Louisiana bands. Anyway, okay, so yeah, I would say currently probably Uptown Funk for sure. Although, yeah, generally when we went out to karaoke, I actually this last Friday night when we went out, I got complimented by some guy. So it's a genuine compliment. He wasn't no he was not hitting on me, although that's happened, but no, that did not happen Friday night. He was just like, you did a really great job. It was really good. And I usually sing "It's My Life" by Bon Jovi. So, but it was really busy that night, so I only sang that song. Um, you guys want to hear me sing it? No, you don't. Ghosts, are they real? Uh, yes, figuratively and potentially literally. But who does not have ghosts that haunt them from their past and sometimes even from your own future, but mostly your past? And isn't it always like family or a girl? Well, or a guy if you're a girl, whatever. Hometown. I was actually born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but I don't consider it my hometown because I moved to New Orleans when I was 2 years old. And New Orleans, born and raised. don't ever want to live anywhere else. Although I really do want to travel. My goal eventually in life is to have a really nice RV and be able to crisscross the country and hit all the different people and places and tiny little eateries and see all the different cultures and experience the world in different, viewpoints. Just interact with, the country. And of course, I've always wanted to go to Scotland and Ireland. And I guess the UK is right there, so why not that too? Probably won't get my head chopped off there. Uh, in love with no one. Jealous of. I don't really get jealous. Uh, I don't see the point in it. I think it's just negative energy. And there's nothing I've ever discovered in life that comes out beneficial or positive from negativity, whatever it is. And jealousy is negativity. That doesn't mean that I've never experienced jealousy. I think that we all have. And I think in some ways, slight jealousy is a healthy thing in a relationship. You should always feel that you want to earn and keep the trust and affection and love of someone else. And you should also always recognize that they are still attractive. And if they're not, if they've gotten complacent and they're not finding their way, they're stuck in a rut, you're not going to get jealous and you're going to end up unhappy. And so I think it's always just good to be reminded of where we could go and go somewhere positively. Um, yeah, I mean, I've been in relationships before where there were things that the girl did, friends that they kept, quote unquote friends, that were disrespectful to the relationship, but I never will, and I'd never want to ever tell them, you can't talk to this person, or you shouldn't be talking to this person. I leave it up to them. They're going to make the decisions, and they're going to do what they want, and you have to either trust in that, or you'll learn the lesson that you shouldn't trust them from that. So, killed someone. Not recently. Um, last time you cried? Probably Sunday. Middle name is Michael. I was actually going to be named Michael, but my mother decided to go with Brian Michael Milici instead, because at the time I think Michael was the number one boy's name 2 years running. I've known a lot of Mikes and Michaels so around my age, so yeah, I like Brian Michael Milici. I don't. It would feel weird thinking of myself as a Michael. Number of siblings. I have an older brother and a younger brother. I am a middle child. The older brother's Mark, the younger brother's Thomas. One wish. Health and happiness for, well, everyone, really. Uh, Health is the biggest thing in life, I think, more than anything. We'll find happiness and love if we're determined and earnest and sincere and work hard at bettering ourselves. So the wish wouldn't be for love, but for health. Health is a very tricky thing, and some people fall into situations they didn't ask for, they didn't create, and it hurts, and I hate seeing people suffer. So I think health more than anything. Person who you last called? Uh, Tiffany, I guess. I think so. I think I called her. Or, well, whatever. Uh, Question you're always asked. Are you for real? I get that a lot. Um, who are you? Uh, Most of the time, they just want to talk to me. So I get asked a lot of questions, especially about like my past and what I believe. And uh, here's the tip: if you struggle with conversation, and I know I've talked to a lot of introverts, and I can't tell you how many people have told me that they hate talking on the telephone. And I say, give me 5 minutes. You don't like it, you can hang up on me. And I don't like being hung up on. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. I hate that. But I've been able to get certain people that just absolutely hate the telephone, that are shy, they're introverted, they don't know what to talk about, how to talk to somebody, especially not face to face. I mean, they're shy enough in person. And I'm just like, give me 5 minutes. If you don't like it, then we go our separate ways. We're good. It's never happened where they didn't want to keep talking to me. And I've had some long phone conversations. The longest phone conversation I've ever had in my life was when I was like, I don't know, 19 or 20. 17 hours. I mean, I ended up dating the girl, but yeah, that was crazy. I don't, but I've had so many countless 7 to 8, 9 hour phone conversations consecutively. But the key to conversation, even if you're introverted, people like to talk about themselves. They do. We're our own stars in our own little, sitcom, basically, our own little movies. That's what our lives are. And so you just ask questions. But here's the key: you need to pay attention to what they say. You actually have to be interested in what they have to say. But and people have at times been like, well, I don't know what to ask. Just start out simple. Think of every survey you've ever taken like this. Hey, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite meal? What's the last thing that made you truly happy? You can just literally come up with endless questions. And what it does is it leads to dialogue, going back and forth. You're having a conversation at that point, because you're not just asking the question. Hopefully, they're not just giving you like a one-word answer, and you just play off of those questions being asked and answered. And you might say, "Oh, well, I don't like that song, but I like this song," and you could just go back and forth and things like that. It really has helped a lot of people that I've talked to help improve their conversational skills. All right, I'm rambling. Uh, reason to smile. Beauty in every form. And so often we get caught up in how we are not good enough, or we're not pretty enough, or we're not smart enough, or not just good enough. Everybody has something beautiful about them if you're sincere, you're honest, you're loyal, and you work at it. You work at yourself. If you're always trying, that's probably the most beautiful thing in the world. And I'll always smile about that. Plus, I don't know, smiling, the beauty of nature, animals, the innocence of kids, laughter. I love to make people laugh, and that makes me smile. The song I last sang, well, like in the car, uh, I think it's "Fight Song" by Rachel Platten. Love that song. Time that I woke up this morning. Um, I didn't really sleep well last night, so I was up at like 5:30. Underwear color? I guess I'll check. No, it's gray. Vacation destination. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I would love to travel the country for sure here in the States, but I've always wanted to go to Scotland, see the Highlands. I Some of the prettiest pictures. Um, yeah, New Zealand too is gorgeous. Um, worst habit. Hmm. Sometimes I don't think I give myself enough credit, just because we all live inside our own heads. So I'm dealing with me all day, every day, and that's a difficult thing. Uh, it's right there with my impatience, but probably uh, I can get in my own way sometimes, for sure. X-rays you've had. Oh my god, I couldn't even tell you how many X-rays I've had done. X-rays, ultrasounds, MRIs, CAT scans. I mean, I've had at least 8 CAT scans. The amount of X-rays I've had. I mean, when I was just back in that first surgery in 2008, they were we did an X-ray every day for like 3 weeks. I mean, and that was one hospital stay. And I mean, we were talking the other day, some friends that are coming over tonight, and we were playing this game, and they gave 8 book titles. And they were like, "What would be Brian's book title describing his life?" And they all picked a series of unfortunate events. And I was like, "Really?" And Ian was just like, "Dude, how long have you spent in the hospital in your life? How many, after all the surgeries?" He's like, been at least 2 years of just being in the hospital, hasn't it? I'm like, yeah, at least. So couldn't really argue with that one. Um, my favorite food? Well, I'm a slut for cheese. Yeah. Oh, cheese is delicious. Um, I love starches, although they don't love me nor my waistline, and I'm trying to lose weight. So, but I'm a big fan of Mexican, really good Mexican. Uh, I mean, Italian food is comforting, um, and I love Lebanese or Middle Eastern food. I mean, a lot of people consider it Greek food, but if it's actual authentic Greek food, it's slightly different from um, authentic, just like Lebanese, because you're getting like it's just a different style. You know, people from Iraq and Iran, um, not just from Greece. And I like Greek food, but I mean, like the gyro sandwich, falafel, stuffed grape leaves, hummus. You know, just so good. And I always feel good after I eat it. So, and I usually think that that's the best way you can tell what how you're gonna feel afterwards. Because I mean, like I love pizza, but after I eat pizza, sometimes I'm like, oh, fuck my life. Um, Zodiac sign, and this will be the last one. I am a Gemini, but also a Virgo, and a Libra. So those are my rising moon signs. So I mean, my predominant sign is Gemini, but I am a very unusual Gemini in that way. So, all right, this has probably gone on way too long. But thank you for joining me. I'm going to post this after it gets uploaded. And you guys have a fantastic day. You crazy kids out there, go get in some trouble. It's always fun when it's trouble. Well, I mean, don't get arrested. That would be unfortunate. Take it easy.